So I'm here with the owner of Isolated Heroes, Samantha.
Hi.
Hi, and we're going to talk about Scottish fashion and what it's like to be a designer in Scotland.
Exciting.
Yeah. So tell us how Isolated Heroes came into being.
Isolated Heroes started as my graduate collection when I graduated from Heriot Watt in 2012. I knew straight away that I wanted to design for a brand, and it was a very specific vision. I didn't want to go work for another designer.
Mm-hmm.
It was unisex, well, we called it genderless. Started working with lots of fun prints and colour, and I just knew that this collection wasn't just like a six-piece collection, that I wanted it to become kind of like its whole new thing and a whole brand. So we started designing other collections off of that. I moved back to Dundee and got a studio space and started pitching to buyers, even though I didn't really know what I was doing then. And just started my online store. So yeah, it's just kind of, it's been a long road, but now it's grown into proper business, thank God.
Thank God. So what are some of the struggles you've faced as a small business in Scotland, and how have you sort of overcome them?
I think as a start-up in fashion in general, any business, it's probably funding is the first problem that you face. Just like actually from the off, I mean, realistically now, if I'd like done it properly, done my business plan, I would have really tried to get like £5,000, £10,000 funding, but I just started the brand with nothing, like literally worked a full-time job at the same time as doing it for about 2 years, and we were quite lucky that we had a customer base straight away and people were selling it buying from our online store, so like all our turnover and cash flow just came from sales and we built up that way. But I think funding is definitely number one issue. I mean, there are things out there, but I just didn't know where to go down.
Do you think that's something that's maybe lacking, like in like university courses and stuff? Because I did garment tech at MMU, and we were taught nothing about like starting your own brand or like any sort of business knowledge apart from this is your job role when you go and work for a designer.
I feel like everyone who we get in, we work with so many students, like we have constant work placements on, and everything I get back from all of them from feedback from unis just now in Scotland is that they're almost discouraging you to start up on your own, which is insane because like sole traders and limited companies are like the backbone of kind of business here.
Yeah.
So just crazy, and then but also they're discouraged to move for a job, and I'm like, well, the amount of companies that you could work for in fashion in Scotland are so limited, you can count them on one hand.
Exactly.
The people that are like small enough, I mean, we're employing now and have actual staff, but even then it's like, you know what I mean, tiny amount of people that you work for, and I just don't think they're given any experience in like actually how to start up a business, even how to run like a website and a blog, which is insane because it's going to, like, all your fashion jobs now are going down more the media route than anything else.
Yeah,
so
definitely. And I do definitely think that's something that's lacking in Scotland. Like, when I graduated, there was no jobs for me in Scotland. I had to go to London. And I feel like that's the predicament so many people are in, and for them to discourage starting your own business without giving, like, even any sort of help for when you're in uni. Like, if you do decide to go down that route, I don't think there's any sort of...
Also, all the students who we get on work placements and who are doing like internship semesters are all from Northumbria or Leeds or London College of Fashion, and they actually have that integrated into their degree programme. Whereas in Scotland, I think Grays has a semester that they can do a work placement, but they also have to do other work as well. So they're not even really encouraged to get work placements. They're finding that on their own behalf. And I just don't understand how you could get a job in fashion if you don't have industry experience.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of crazy if they're not being taught how to start a business and they're not being taught that. Yeah. Fashion skills.
Yeah. Fashion skills. What's the most important thing you've learned since starting the company?
I think like two-way communication with your customers and really listening to feedback and how you like develop the brand and develop collections. So now even how we design has completely changed. Like I still think of like a theme, but most of it goes on like our analytics of our website, what stock's selling, what's not, what feedback we're getting, what things customers are liking, how we're expanding the sizing. So definitely that, and I think like you value your customers so much. I mean, from 2012 to 2017 now, oh my god, it's so scary. But yeah, like we still have some of the same customers from the beginning, and although the brand's completely evolved and changed, even like the fabrics we're looking for, because it's just growing. Although it has like a similar aesthetic, it's still bright coloured, we use sequins and faux fur, but even sequins we've only used for really the last like 2.5 years.
Yeah, that's because that's like instantly when I
yeah,
think
that's
of
what you
isolated
think
heels,
of.
I'm like
Same,
sequins.
it's like we've always had faux fur. I mean, we used to do print. I don't even know how to expose the screen anymore. It's just crazy how like things change. But yeah, even from then, we have like some of the same customers from the beginning. I just think that's amazing. Although like our customer base has grown and we're now like 200 orders a week. Like we have customers with really high lifetime spends, and it's just really good to value them and listen, and like it's so nice when they're on the journey with you. So yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to have feedback.
Speak to them.
Talk to customers.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice be for someone to start their own label?
I think I've always been like, oh, you don't need a business plan, you just go in for it. But I think you really need to have like an idea of the market and what's out there. I think a lot of people, I mean, you get people who either spend like a year on a business plan, but they're not just going for it. You also just need to like get your product and get it out there and just go for it as a startup. Otherwise you're never going to learn. Like everything I've learned has been from experience and all your mistakes you make. But you also need to understand the market and like who your competitor brands are, who you're selling to. Go in with it with a really realistic idea and open eyes, because I think people think that you're going to have like an instant success story if you've got a bit of, especially if you have like influencers wearing your product or celebrities interested. Just because someone's wearing something on like Instagram and you have like a big Instagram following doesn't necessarily mean the money's going to come in and sales are going to come in. So I think you really need to have a plan of how you're going to sell and like a strategy.
Yeah. What is the best part of your job?
I think because every day is different. Like just now, it's just insane. This week we've been doing stuff with Gemma Kearney. She's just launched like her own, it's not a self-help book, but it's that kind of like business book, self-help book, it'll be in that section. So she's wanting like really bright yellow pieces for her book tour. So we've been working on custom stuff with her. We're shipping like a massive wholesale order next week, and there's still like 35 units to finish, and we're making it in-house. Got customer orders, like every day is different and every week's different. And although like I plan like a production schedule for the month and plan everything else in, it just changes day to day because you don't know what email's going to come through and what you're going to end up doing. What else have we been working on this week? Loads of stuff. Like it's insane, and it's only Wednesday, so
yeah, it's only Wednesday.
It is like crazy. I think that's the most enjoyable thing, that it's never boring to me. So occasionally you get, I don't know, everyone gets this, like you're just like, oh, so frustrated and fed up and like all this hard work and but then you get like just a really good email through or some exciting project and you're like, this is why I do it. So yeah, I think just not having the same routine would be so boring.
Yeah, no, definitely. So what's the worst part of, if that's the best part of your job, what's the worst part of your job?
I think probably, oh my god, what is the worst part? I think I get like affected really really harsh when someone says anything negative about it. I think it's because you hold like your brand and your business, because it is so personal to you. Like people think that we've got loads of employees and a massive team of people, and like literally I'm like slogging away all day for hours, and like I don't think people realise the graft that goes into it. So if someone says something because they're in a bad mood one day online, like, this delivery time is shit or this is shit, and like complain about it, I'm like so offended. I'm like really upset over it. Or if someone doesn't come to me with a problem about an item, and I don't know, it just really affects you. Whereas if you were a massive company, it just wouldn't give a crap.
Like people don't like really think about the fact that most indie brands are like a few people maximum, and the person who usually does all the social media is usually the owner. So if you say something negative about a piece of clothing, it's really difficult not to take it so personally.
And you need to understand like everyone's entitled to opinions, so it's not like you can't handle criticism. If it was like something was made wrong, or then like I'd be like, okay, that's something we need to look into, like how's a mistake being sent out. So it's not like that, it's more just when people are just such keyboard warriors these days and people go on a big rant about something, and it's actually really nasty, and it's because like they aren't speaking to a person, they're hiding behind a keyboard, and I'm devastated when I read a comment like that. And even though it's probably one out of like 1,000 nice ones, I find that really hard, but you just have to like overcome it.
Yeah, you do focus.
I'm such a sensitive soul. I know, but that's what it's like. I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, people being mean for no reason is probably the worst part of anyone's job.
Definitely.
So you were saying you've been working with Paloma, and isolated heroes have been worn by like Miley Cyrus, Baddie Winkle,
Love Baddie. We did a custom coat for her last week as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a Believe one, but So the Believe ones are like long ombre coats with detachable Mongolian collars, and they've got custom embroidery on the back. But all the embroidery on the back is like a collage piece, so it's all mixed up with like beading and sequins. So yeah, it's really good. I don't actually know what it's for because our stylist asked us about it, and I know it's for like a carpet appearance.
She's got a stylist.
I know. Well, she has like a whole team. It's insane. Imagine being A to A. She's got a better wardrobe than me.
Totally. She's got a better bloody lifestyle than
I know. And she's getting like flown around everywhere and staying in hotels and doing these appearances. It's amazing.
I love her. I actually love her. So if you were to dress anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Okay, I've got like a few. I thought about this. So I don't really care about celebrities that much as long as like people are doing something in the industry that's better. I love like Callie and Sam Beckerman, you know, like Beckerman blog. Love just like the looks they put together, are so much fun. So
I love their little like Instagram videos.
Yeah, just how they're so happy and
like
nice, but I don't think it feels fake either with them. I think they're genuinely just like really bubbly, like woo people.
Actually happy.
So yeah, like just insane a little bit. And I think they'd be perfect. So they're on my hit list this year.
They're on your hit list.
I love like as like fantasy figure, I spoke about this last time, like Album Really True Romance, just so cool.
Yeah.
Angeline, imagine she was like driving around in her pink car and like some like little pink sequin Ice Heroes number.
God, that would actually
that could totally happen, but she'd probably charge me to put it on her. I don't know if she looks that good anymore. Maybe like
she tends to just have something in front of her face.
I'm trying to think of who else like I really in industry, like Angela Russo would be like the dream. I don't think that'll happen. Maybe. Put that on like the wish list.
Yeah, she can be like the penultimate.
But I can't think of who else. It's always more like industry figures or people who like you're really excited by.
Yeah.
And you like the work they're doing that are my ideal customer.
They want to dress. So for 2017, for the rest of the year, what are your plans for Isolated Heroes?
Quite a lot
apart from
already.
dressing the Beckerman sisters and Anna De La Russo.
I know. I was like at the beginning of the year, I was like, oh god, I'm really looking forward to taking time off and all this stuff. And literally, what are we in? Like 2 weeks in, and now I'm like, I don't even think I'm going to have a maternity leave. I'm just so excited for everything that we've got going on. Like the beginning of this year, I was really focused on expanding our retail and like I really looked at our figures from last year and like how much wholesaling we're doing, how much retail we're doing. Last year I really wanted to expand our wholesale, then I realised we don't need as much money on it. What's the point? Like the retail's our strongest point.
Yeah.
So how can we work on that more with more like user generated content, better website. So it's bringing in a lot more content features to online stores. So I've got another side project which links into Isolated Heroes, but that's not going to be till like May time. But yeah, it is like an Isolated Heroes thing. There'll be another feature on the website, but we're working on that. So really just like a better experience for our customers who are shopping with us online. Like the last 2 years have really been hard to like sort out our manufacture and start dealing with like the volume of orders we were getting, but also keeping it like a handmade item and more collections per year, more choice for people. We're expanding our plus size range a little bit bigger because it goes up to 24. We're taking out custom orders, we're not doing them anymore because it's just too much. You just can't keep on top of them.
Will you still offer like custom embroidery and stuff? Or
yeah, just custom orders in terms of like exciting things like adding a piece to your jacket, because the whole thing that I like about most about the brand is it's not season to season. It's all like trophy pieces, and I think that's why we have like a good amount of customers that come back that have like a high lifetime spend, because they are creating like everything's like a key look in your wardrobe. So it's nice if they can like adapt on something and have like a custom embroidery piece. But in terms of like fit, which was a lot of things we were getting with custom orders, because people are wanting like a bigger size range or wanting it longer, it just takes too long to like address every pattern and do it differently. So to save that, we're just expanding like our core plus size pieces up. We're doing the Curve Fashion Festival in September.
Nice.
So that's like our first thing that we've actually like went in with our plus size customers. We're going to be doing an actual event for them, so I'm really excited for that. So is that like a
pop-up where they can come and shop?
It's just a one-day event, but it's all just for plus size, so it's size 16 and above. So we're going to launch like our Christmas collection, but with all our plus size products like that in September, and like all the really nice bloggers and influencers we work with, like Tess Holiday, Daniel Vanny, and everyone at it anyway, so it'll be really good. I'm looking forward to that. Can't wait.
That'll be fun.
What else have we got? We're not sure what we're doing trade show wise this year, but yeah, we're just really working on basically our retail and making it a better experience for our customers who are buying with us.
So since you're doing all of this, as well as giving birth, Are you actually going to take any maternity leave?
I'm meant to be off till November, but realistically I'm not. I mean, I started this year kind of, not pessimistic, but I was just like, oh god, I think everyone had a shit 2016, like the world had a shit 2016, and I mean mine wasn't even bad. I had a great year, got married, got pregnant, like dream honeymoon, everything else, but yeah, I just started the year like, oh, just so unfocused and inspired, and then literally I came back to work and we've just had so many exciting projects already that came in the mailbox, and I just felt so focused, so I'm really looking forward to actually having, I mean, I'm going to end up taking like 12 weeks maternity leave max, but having like a little bit of time out, working on like the business a bit more, like I know exactly what I'm wanting to do, so it will really strengthen the brand and drive it forward rather than me being in here every day, because like my job's so hands-on. I have like an hour in the morning to get like all my shit done on the laptop, and then I'm literally working on stuff. So it'd be nice to take a step back and sort of reevaluate, because I'm not really needed to do that anymore, to be honest. Like, we have a really good studio manager, we have studio assistants who are in, so I'm not needing to be spending time making orders, so it'll be nice to just change, have a different perspective on it. Yeah, but it's going to be a lot busier. So, like, the business year's busier anyway, never mind having a baby as well. It's going to be insane, but I can't wait. Exciting challenges ahead. Yeah,
definitely. So, for 2017, if you had one wish, what would it be?
I just want to make loads of money. I'm only joking. But no, I want to travel more with the brand. So, like even last year, I never take holidays because it's just so full on, and there's never that time. You always end up
making a holiday a work thing anyway, because you'll be like, well, I'm going to wherever. Is there anyone there I could have meetings with? But at least you're being like a blogger, and so you get like opportunity to travel, like it's do like hotel reviews, and well, not that you do hotel reviews, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like it's like part of your job as well, like going to these new places and thinking it. I think like if I end up, we do have one holiday a year and I'm working it there because I want to get stock in a store there, like it's not fun as well for Richard, so I need to organise, like think about a work calendar, but I want to go abroad a bit more. Even last year when we were in LA, like all the sourcing, I want to do more sourcing trips abroad. I really want to do an international trade show, so I'm going to look into that for later in the year. But yeah, basically increase the turnover, make more money so we can go abroad more and source more things and get more stores and make better collections.
Yeah. Well, that's what it all comes down to, really.
Yeah. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
2017.
2017.
Bring it on! I can't wait! I'm so excited!
Oh, that's good. Awesome. Well, thanks for talking to us today, and we can't wait to see what 2017 brings.
I know, I can't wait either. Exciting.
Yeah.